Ron Howard has finally opened up about a moment in his career that could have completely changed everything, one that most people never knew. You probably remember him as Richie Cunningham on Happy Days, the clean-cut, all-American teenager whose stories helped define a generation. But behind the nostalgia and the laughs, Howard was quietly facing a crossroads, the fear that his role, his place in a show he helped build, might be being sidelined. In a recent interview, he revealed that a BC producers once seriously floated the idea of renaming Happy Days to Fonzie's Happy Days, putting the spotlight squarely on Henry Winkler's breakout character. It was a dramatic power shift, and for Howard, it felt like a betrayal of everything the cast and creative team had built together.
He said he would rather go back to film school than continue if the show's title changed,
insisting that it would be insulting to the ensemble, to the idea of teamwork, to the promise of what Happy Days was from the start. He didn't see himself as opposed to Winkler's success. In fact, he called the rise of Fonzie perfectly sensible. Fans loved him, but the optics of giving a secondary character top billing crossed a line. Howard described being hurt, especially when executives began treating him differently, as Winkler's popularity soared. He felt that what had once been a shared journey was slipping toward an imbalance in recognition and respect. Despite being contractually bound to the show, Howard dug in his heels. Even though he didn't have any clause in his contract guaranteeing the show's name, he made it very clear that if the producers chose to go forward with Fonzie's Happy Days, he would walk away. And he meant it. In hindsight, it's a statement of how much the identity of Happy Days and his place in it meant to him, not just as a performer, but as someone who believed in the integrity of the whole cast and show. The creator Gary Marshall stepped in, and ultimately the change was never made. Running the risk of ego accusations or behind-the-scenes conflict, Howard drew a line and the studio backed off. The story has only just come into the light, but it reshapes how many look at Howard's early career. It reminds us fame isn't just about popularity, it's about principles, power dynamics, and the invisible pressures that build under the surface. Now, after decades, Howard's revelation isn't just a juicy piece of TV trivia. It's proof that even people who seem to be on top of the world still wrestle with respect, identity, and legacy. He didn't step away then, but he made sure the show stayed true to its roots and to his own sense of self. And even today, that moment continues to shape the way he thinks about his legacy as an actor, director, and collaborator. If you thought Happy Days was just a feel-good sitcom, there's now an edge to its story, one that makes Howard's commitment to fairness more inspiring, more real, and frankly more human.